In this video, we're going to continue our review of one-step inequalities. Take a look at example D. Look at -4 and x and think about what operation is in between them. Is it addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division? If you don't see anything in between, that means that they're separated by multiplication. Don't be fooled, they're not separated by addition or subtraction, they're separated by multiplication. And the inverse of multiplication is division. So we are going to divide both sides by the number that is keeping x from being alone. And the number that is keeping x from being alone is that -4. So divide both sides by -4. 36 divided by -4 is -9. On the right side, -4 divided by -4 equals 1. So we're left with 1x. Now, if you divide both sides by -4, does it flip the inequality? Down here it says, remember, dividing or multiplying. Okay, we divided both sides. Yeah, we divided both sides by a negative. Yes, we divided by a negative. It'll flip the inequality. All right, so we flipped the inequality. And the answer is set up kind of different because the x is on the right side. And we don't normally leave x on the right side. So this is something we haven't talked about yet. If you're going to put the x on the left side and the -9 on the right side, you're going to change the sides. Then we also need to change the direction of the inequality again. So our final answer would be x is greater than or equal to -9. Think about it this way. If the opened end is facing the x, when you move the x to the left side, the opened end still needs to be facing the x. Okay, example E. X is being divided by 3. So the inverse of division is multiplication. So we're going to multiply both sides by the number that's keeping x from being alone. And the number on the left side with the x is the 3. So we're going to multiply both sides by 3. On the left side, we write 3 as a fraction since we're multiplying it by a fraction. And on the right side, we just multiply by 3 as an integer. Well, 3 divided by 3, that's really 3 divided by 3, is 1, so we're left with 1x. -8 times 3, negative times a positive is a negative. And then, does the inequality flip? Well, we did multiply on both sides. However, we did not multiply both sides by a negative number. So the inequality does not change direction. So our final answer here is going to be x is greater than or equal to -24. We have one final example. -99 is less than 9x. Think about how 9 and x are separated. If you see no operation in between, the operation is multiplication. So the original operation is multiplication, which means the inverse operation is division. So we're going to divide both sides by the number that is keeping x from being alone. And the number that is keeping x from being alone is that 9. The whole goal is to isolate the x, so you have to get rid of that 9. -99 divided by 9 is -11. 9 divided by 9 equals 1, so we're left with 1x. And 1x is the same thing as x. And now we need to think about, do we flip this inequality? Well, we did divide both sides by a number, but we didn't divide both sides by a negative number. We divided both sides by +9. So this inequality does not flip directions because of dividing by a negative number. We didn't divide by a negative number. However, if you're left with x on the right, we need to go ahead and put x on the left and then the -11 on the right side. So if this reads x is greater than -11, when you rewrite it, it should still read x is greater than -11. So when you trade the place where x is and the place where -11 is, you do have to flip it then. So our final answer is x is greater than -11.